Hey yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy Jack Phoenix Sean here, and welcome back to Spooky Scary Saturday Part 22. And in this part, we will be doing 3 more animations. We're gonna be reacting to them. Sadly, there is no more films already because films are way too scary for you guys, so we will just stick with animation for this entire series. So this entire series, everything will be scary animations. Yes. And just to let you guys know that there's a double upload for today. I know it's gonna be very late if I do the double upload because I'm doing the SR with SRWJPS that video. It's a surprise video. You guys will see it in the double upload. So yes, in today's video we are gonna today I am thinking of how many likes do I want you guys to do it? Yes, 20 plus likes. Hit that like button right now. So if you guys want to see more of this series, alright, hit the like button, turn on the post notification, get notified anytime I upload a new video. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm sorry that yesterday I didn't get to record because when I was doing the recording, the freaking camera shut off at that time. So like the webcam literally shuts off. And that's why I have to record it without the camera, and that is super annoying because I always record it with FaceTime. So yeah, with the face cam, so FaceTime. Wow. And hit the subscribe button so you can turn on the post notification and subscribe to my channel, and follow all my social medias in the description down below. My Twitter and my Instagram. And go and visit my merch store in the description down below. Go and order them so you can get the same thing as I'm wearing. And yes, let's get started with reaction to this. Make sure you get your snacks and your drink. I wish I already got it. So yes. Alright, moving on to the first animation right now. Okay guys, so for the first animation is called I Almost Kidnapped by Strangers with Using Online Transaction. Okay, so let me take out my headphones. Bright red ones. Yes, this, oh yeah. And I'm also gonna give a shout out to 1C Entertainment for being inside my video for this 3 animation. So 1, 2, 3, the 3 animations are from 1C Entertainment. Shout out to you guys for being inside my video. And yeah, so let's get reacting to the first animation.
I'm 24. And this happened 5 years ago when I was 19. I was conducting an online transaction on a site called ALKS, which is similar to Craigslist. It's an online app where you can see items being sold by random strangers, and all you have to do is make a call and meet up. I was looking for a cheap sweater for my trip to Japan the following week. After several minutes of scrolling, I came across an ad with exactly what I was looking for. A Korean-style female fur sweater for just 300 pesos.
300 pesos?
It was perfect. I had issue with it. The meetup point was at the LRT train station at 8 p.m. because the seller was too busy at work. I decided, what the heck? It's a public place anyway. I called the owner and we had a quick convo. He sounded like a strict guy, but I asked him when we could meet up. He responded, "Tonight at 8 p.m. sharp." I said sure. But this recklessness of mine is what I regret the most. I arrived at the meeting place at 7:58 p.m. It was really empty.
Oh my god, it's a train station!
It was a cold night in November, and I eagerly awaited warming myself with my coat. Honestly, I'm the kind of girl who's comfortable wearing a sweater even when it's hot. I was sitting on a bench when the clock ticked 8 o'clock, when suddenly someone covered half of my face with a scarf with a really strange scent. I fell unconscious.
No.
As I woke up, I found myself in a van with 4 guys, my wrists handcuffed behind my back.
Dude.
I asked the man what they wanted and to please let me go. Tears began to fall from my eyes. But then, one of the guys touched my face and said, "It's our first time ever tasting a beautiful girl like you."
No.
I kept on crying and shouted, "Please, I want to go home, please." The guy next to me choked me, shouting that I needed to shut up. I tried to resist, but my eyes started to roll back in my head. He stopped, but it was taking a long time for me to catch my breath. I looked out the window and saw a checkpoint lane. For the first time in my life, I was so glad that the authorities had permission to check the van. But the guy next to me reached for a gun, a really big gun.
No.
Knowing this was my only chance, I found the strength to shout and cried out, "Officer, please help! They have a gun!" The 2 officers immediately grabbed their guns, one shooting at the tires, the other aiming for the man next to me.
No.
The officer shot him in the head. I never thought I'd witness such a thing in my life. One of the officers carried me out of the van, and I passed out moments later. I woke up the next day in a hospital bed. My parents were there, crying and asking me what happened. I told them the truth, that I was buying a sweater online. But I suddenly snapped. I cried and cried, saying, "Please help, please help." Since then, I've had to go to a psychiatrist to recover from mental instability and anxiety, and it should go without saying, but I never ever want to buy anything online, ever again.
Okay, I mean you can you can buy stuff online, but you have to, so-called watch what you're buying. If let's say you're buying from a store that is not trustable, don't buy from that store. So because sometimes when you buy things from the unknown person's store, you may not know if it's a kidnappers or it's a company. So yeah, watch where you're buying stuff from. Okay, guys, you guys have to buy stuff from trusted places, online shops. So like you have to buy stuff from companies and not from kidnappers. So apparently this girl, she wants to buy a sweater, but then she get kidnapped. So so yeah, that is a lesson to don't buy stuff from non-trustable places. So you buy from companies but not from kidnappers, especially I never heard of Craigslist before. I think it's kind of like eBay like that. I think so. So yeah. Alright guys, that's the end of animation number 1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Moving on to the second animation right now. Alright guys, so the next animation is called Crazy Old Guy. Okay, so don't know why you guys keep on naming old guys crazy. Okay, I don't know why. I don't get it. But anyway, let's just react to the second animation right now.
When I was 7 or 8 years old, my parents used to take me to this beach cafe in our town. It had a pool and the cafe was right next to the beach. The family that owned the cafe were my family's close friends, so I spent a lot of my childhood there. The best part about the beach is that when you pass the cafe and the playground, there was a lot of sand and a net for volleyball. As kids, my friends and I would always play there. One ordinary summer night, there was quite a few of us playing in the sand, making castles and doing other things. All of a sudden, I heard a noise behind me in the bushes, right where the sand ended. I should mention that there were woods around the whole place,
Whoa.
but it wasn't deep or anything. I was a brave kid, so I just brushed it off as being a cat or animal of some sort, and continued to play. However, when I looked up at my friends, who were now quiet and staying still, I got the chills. I noticed that all of their eyes had widened. They were staring at me, or rather at whatever was behind me. The shock kicked in, and I felt like I was going to faint. I started shaking. I didn't even want to turn around.
No!
But when I felt something cold on the back of my neck, that was the last straw. I started running full speed towards the cafe filled with people, and my friends immediately followed behind me. There were 6 children crying and screaming at the top of our lungs. I remember finally clinging to my mom and crying in her arms. Soon after, the sound of sirens followed by police cars parked in front filled
What?
me. When the adults talked to the police, my friends and I were confused. I still didn't know what was behind me, so I asked my oldest friend in the group, who was 10 years old and talking to his dad. It turns out there was this crazy old guy who robbed a lady and stabbed her to death not so far away from here. My friends told me he appeared behind me smiling like a sick clown. He was holding a knife and pressing it against the back of my neck.
Oh my gosh!
That must have been the cold thing I felt.
No.
From then on, I never stayed far away from the cafe when the sun went down. And thankfully, they caught the guy.
No, don't laugh like that at me, bro. Okay, guys, so that was the second animation. It wasn't that scary, but it's that creepy guys creeped out behind you. That's my fear. That's one of my fears that I don't want to come across, actually. So yeah, so that's it of animation number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Moving on to the final animation for today's animation number 3 right now. Okay, guys, for the third and last animation for today's part, it will be, or episode, I think, yeah, we should call it episode 21. Okay, guys, sorry for the thing. I was trying to say that is episode 22, not 21. Okay, it's going to be creepy old lady stalker. Okay, it's quite weird though. Okay, guys, so let's get started reacting to animation number 3. Let's go. Oh no, you don't have to do that. Oh no.
This happened a little over 20 years ago. I was 10 years old and my sister was 6. We grew up in a small town, raised only by our hardworking mother. It started when school was nearly finished for the year. The nights were late because my sister was up all night crying about a witch. Anyway, my mother started receiving odd calls once in a while at work.
I need one of your children.
Mom figures it was some stupid prank and ignored it.
That was weird.
But then she started receiving calls daily. Eventually, she was receiving a call most nights at our home. She reported it to the police, and they said whoever was calling was using random payphones. There wasn't much they could do about it. So she had both her work and home number changed. One night around 10 or so, there was a frantic knock on our door. Mom looked out through the window and saw a lady with long hair in her 60s. Not knowing her,
What? What kind of eye contact is that? It's like... Dang it. Anyway, let's continue.
Mom went near the locked door and asked what she wanted. The lady asked if she could come inside because she was in a car accident.
No,
Mom
don't
said she
open.
would call the police for her and
Don't
told
open.
her to wait outside. There was a pause.
No, don't call the cops.
Mom thought this was strange and
What kind of sound is that? That's a voice.
started walking to the phone. Immediately again, a banging on the door. Mom ran to the phone and looked out the window to see the lady staring at her.
Okay, now that's weird. I paused there.
She coldly said,
Dorothy Margaret, I want one of your children. Dorothy Margaret, I want one of your children.
No! God,
she kept
please,
repeating
no!
it
No!
until Mom noticed flashing lights of police approaching, and she left. The police searched everywhere and kept a car outside each night for a week. Nothing. A few weeks later, summer finally started and my sister wasn't having the nightmares anymore about the witch. We were at one of my baseball games and my mother was talking to a teacher at my sister's school and telling her what happened. The teacher said,
Oh, it sounds like your stepmother.
Mom looked back confused and said she doesn't have a stepmother. The teacher's face turned white. A while ago, a lady in her 60s would come watch the children play at lunch. She said she was my mother's stepmom and liked to watch my sister at lunch. She reported it again to the police and they checked camera footage. Sure enough, on a faraway park bench, there was an old lady most
That's the
lunchtimes.
one.
They noticed she was always coming from the woods, so the police did a search and found an old shanty shack type of place. It had old blankets and a fire pit,
That's a home.
and it had pictures she had drawn of us. That was the last time we ever heard of her. When summer was ending, my sister started having the nightmares of the witch again.
No.
Mom asked why she was getting scared again, and she said,
Because she comes to school and watches us.
the witch was the old lady.
Oh, hell no!
Whoa. That is the scariest one I have ever seen. The animation. So, yeah, that was animation number 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Actually, the last one was actually pretty scary than the other tools. So, yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, well, that's the end of Spooky Scary Saturday episode 22. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do, yep, subscribe if you guys are new, turn on post notification to get notified every time I upload a video. Leave a like on this video. Let's aim for 20 plus likes. And also follow on my social medias in the description down below, my Twitter and my Instagram. And also go and visit my merch store in the description down below so you can get the same thing that I'm wearing. I am still releasing new hoodies, new stickers, new mugs, everything for you guys. So do get it now in the description down below. I will leave one link down there. So you guys go and check it out. And I will see you guys next time. Adios.